Hi, I'm Dave Wurzel, and you're watching PHTV4. This is Spotlight. Today's Spotlight is on the fall play at Stagg High School. With me today, I have the co-directors and a couple of cast members, and we're going to take a look at what play they're going to be performing very soon here, and some of the challenges in putting this one together. First, let's take a minute. Maybe we can all introduce ourselves.
My name is Shelley Thoss. I'm one of the co-directors, and I'm an English teacher at Stagg.
My name is Dylan Rhodes, and I play Agnes in She Kills Monsters.
My name is Mimi Erickson, and I play Tilly.
My name is Samantha Doyle, and I play Lilith, as well as being the stage combat captain.
Yeah.
My name is Eliza Palumbo. I'm a co-director, and I'm an English teacher at Andrew.
So they've picked, you get a little intro here, they've picked a very interesting play. We're going to maybe talk about that first. Shelley, do you want to tell us what play you picked first?
So the title of the play is She Kills Monsters. It's a fairly contemporary play. It was first ran in 2011, so it's not a really old play. And it tells the story that kind of blends reality and fantasy. The reality comes in the form of kind of a tragic event where Agnes, our character here, has learned that her younger sister Tilly has just been killed in a car accident. And out of a desire to get to know her sister better, she feels, a real sense of loss, but also that she never really knew who her sister was. She finds her sister's Dungeons and Dragons notebook that includes her gaming module. And she seeks out some friends of her sister's, of Tilly's, to help her understand this. And she ends up being catapulted into the world of Dungeons and Dragons, where she encounters all sorts of demon creatures, monsters, and her sister. So it's a really powerful story.
It sounds like that blend of something that could be fun, but at the same time very emotionally powerful and probably a little bit of soul searching going on. Very interesting piece and very contemporary, like you said. So it's going to beg the question, Eliza, I'm going to turn this to you. How did you pick this play? What about this play worked for you to do for this?
Sure. So I've actually done the fight direction on this show 2 or 3 times before this. So I've interacted with it a number of different times, just working on the stage combat aspects. There's a lot of stage combat moments, a lot of fighting, because we are in Dungeons and Dragons, so we got to kill monsters, as the title would suggest. So I've worked on this play a couple of times, never really getting to direct it fully, though. And it's a show that I've always felt just such a sense of joy in the rehearsal room and just such a sense of really just surrendering to creativity, I guess is a way to think about it, of really diving into fantasy and just trying to wrestle with good versus evil and kind of exactly as Shelley was saying, the blend between fantasy and reality and kind of where those worlds merge. And I think for me, coming off of the year and a half that we've all been, almost 2 years now, that we've all had, it was important for Shelley and I to pick something that we felt could express some of those truths in life, but also something that would just be a joy to rehearse.
Mm-hmm. And it sounds like it has all those pieces and all that potential. I mean, just listening to you talk about in Shelley's description, yes, I want to see this play now, How about let's talk to the cast members for a second, too. Dylan, maybe you want to go first. What role do you play? I think you mentioned already, but talk about that role a little bit, what that role is, and maybe some of the challenges in playing that role.
Yeah, so I play Agnes in She Kills Monsters, which is the sister who has the sister that dies. And something that's challenging about her is that she's kind of very similar to me, and sometimes it's really hard to differentiate between how I portray her on stage and my actual personality. So sometimes I'll say lines and I'll be like, wait, that was just me saying that, and I'll be like, wait, no, that's not what it's supposed to be. You have to find the good separation between the acting and your own self. So I think when you have a character that's very similar to you, it's hard sometimes.
So hopefully not the tragedy part, but do you feel like you identify with her personality in some ways? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I actually, something I do for character work is I take the MBTI, I think it is, personality test as my character. So I'm an ENFP, and when I took it, it came out as an ENTP. So I was like, whoa, it's really similar. But it helped me understand her more, but we're both extroverts and have short tempers too and stuff like that. So
Has it been fun for you to play it then, or is it, I mean, and obviously there's some of the challenge like you've just said, but how do you feel about playing it now?
I feel really good about it. The reason that I wanted to play her so bad was because I identified with her a lot, and I think it's really rewarding when you like take on a challenge and like are able to execute it in a way that you want to. So.
Good luck. Good luck. How about Mimi? Do you want to talk about your role in the play and what it's been like for you getting ready to play that part?
Yeah, so I play Tilly Evans, who is the younger sister of Agnes. And when I first went to the audition and I read the scene that we were given, I was taken by surprise as to like her whole story, as she's a gay character, and I thought that was really inspiring to take on a role like that. So I was like, this seems really cool to play. So that's definitely a challenge because it's different than what I usually do, but it's also really fun. And another challenge is definitely the fight choreography because I've never done anything like that before. And it's great having Miss Palumbo be here to do that, as well as Samantha. But this role has been a lot of fun, and it's also great because Dylan's my best friend, so it's really fun to play sisters. I've always wanted to, so yeah.
Good. So, and it sounds like you have a variety of challenges in this, the role of the specific character, but then also in some of the choreography that you're trying to perform in the play.
Yeah, so I have to make sure while I'm focusing on my choreography that I'm playing the role, which this role is very, also like Dylan's, it's similar to how I am. I have an older brother, and I always fight with him like the way I fight with, like the way I fight with Dylan in the show, so I kind of like embody that, and I picture that exact scene at my house. So it's really fun to do that.
Good. And again, good luck. It sounds exciting. I'm wishing you the best on it. And then Samantha, how about your role in the play?
So my role in the play is Lilith. I act as quote-unquote Tilly's lover. It's never like actually confirmed, but it's pretty much implied. I really love Lilith because she's just herself throughout the whole play. She's this hard-headed, go-with-the-flow character, and I feel like that's kind of what I tend to be. I kind of just go with the flow. The challenges that I've kind of have are, well, kind of the same, doing the stage combat, because I also act as fight captain, so I have to really pay attention to everyone's choreo besides my own, so I could give them tips and pointers, as well as trying to focus on my own choreography and making sure I'm doing that right and also acting right. So it's a lot, but it's not a lot, and I love it.
Oh, that's great. How about this? Talking about the fight choreography a little bit. Blocking and staging any play is going to have challenges in the timing of it, and the placement, and the physical motions and the gesturing and all that are a set of challenges. And then when you try and do a fight scene, it seems to me like that would complicate things times 100, right? Because obviously there's a safety element, but you also want to look fast and look real, and still show have the right gestures, mannerisms, facial expressions. Can you talk a little bit about the challenges you faced in trying to block a fight scene? And I'm going to let you hold. Do you want to hold the mic on this?
So when it comes to like blocking a fight scene or anything like that, I personally think of it like dance, like trying to get forms in a dance or like forms in like a marching band or something like that. So once you get the forms down, you can go in the form, you could do a move at a time, because in each of the moves of stage combat, we have like an action and a reaction. So we can use those to block, okay, this is where you're going to stand for the action, this is where you're going to fall for the reaction, and then we can go from there. And then it's just that process over and over until we feel comfortable with how the staging ends up being.
So, does that, I don't know, maybe, Eliza, this is for you. Does that cause, is there more rehearsal time needed because of that factor, would you say?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I would. Oh, yes, I would say that. I would definitely say that, yes. And exactly as Sam was saying, like, we want to make sure that it's, and you were speaking that as well, like, it needs to look good, but it has to be safe first and foremost. So we definitely did, like, stage combat boot camp days where we did, like, push-ups and we did lunges and, like, we just made sure, like, our bodies could fight. And I tried to do as much as I could of just, like, for the full cast, just, like, basic technique stuff so that as we moved into actual choreography, Sam and I had a more solid base with all of the cast and also just together to make sure that like people could understand at least enough of what we needed to do so that as we're putting choreo onto things, they're feeling comfortable and they're also feeling safe enough to say like, hey, I don't know exactly what I'm doing here. And we can go from there and fix as need be.
Good. And again, it sounds like quite a challenge, but it sounds like you've managed it. And again, I'm looking forward to seeing this. All right, how about this? I'm going to shift gears on you guys. We've talked about, and this is going to go to Dylan, Mimi, and Samantha, other clubs, sports, activities. What else are you doing at Stagg High School? How about Dylan? Do you want to go first?
Sure. So drama is my main thing, and I think it is for most people who do it, like, seriously, because it takes up so much time. We have rehearsal every day. But I also work with younger kids on musicals outside of Stagg, and I do voice lessons, and I'm actually working to eventually, like, I hope to be on Broadway. So it's like drama's like basically everything I do. But I love it, so it's really nice.
Well, that's fantastic. I wish you the best. I hope you get that. That really is exciting. How about Mimi? What about you?
Well, I'm also involved heavily with drama club. I'm on the drama board. I'm the junior representative, which is really fun, as well as I do madrigals, which is a after-school audition choir. I was in the past season of marching band. I played percussion, which was so much fun. I love that. And I also take voice lessons, you know, just try to be involved as much as possible at my school.
That's another full plate. Holy cow. So I'm going to ask, does this mean we get to see you in the spring musical?
Well, yes, I will be auditioning for the spring musical, which is 9 to 5, the Dolly Parton movie musical thing. Those auditions are mid-December, but we don't perform that till beginning of April, so yeah.
Okay. Well, again, good luck with that. And there's a lot going on, but that's exciting. And Samantha, how about you?
So I also do a lot involved with the arts. I'm heavily involved with drama. You know, I act. I'm on drama board with Mimi as well. And I'm also involved in, like, normal art. I take an AP art class here at Stagg. I'm also in our wind symph, and I'm in choir with them as well. And just like Mimi, I was in marching band as well. I was one of our drum majors. So it's a full plate, but I love the arts, and I love to be involved in all of them.
And they are wonderful things. I mean, that artistic expression, right? And in so many different ways, it sounds like wonderful. All right, how about... let me do a couple quick questions again for our cast members here. How about, you ready? Rapid fire. Favorite, yeah, and don't get this wrong because you might have a teacher who sees this, right? Favorite school subject?
English.
Math.
Art.
Okay. How about this? In your juniors, you're all three juniors, right? Yes. I'm sure it's on your radar. This is a stressful year with testing, and you start thinking about colleges. Do you want to project a little bit? What's happening after high school?
I'll be going to school to study musical theater.
I will be going to school to be a high school teacher.
I want to, go to school, and I want to major in psychology and minor in art and be some sort of therapist or counselor.
Great, all great professions. I think if I could do my life over, I would try that. Well, I've tried that one. I would try that and try that too. No, that's cool. All right, how about this one? You know, you're in theater, but I want you to kind of, all right, spin it outwards. What is either a movie or a play, like that was just magic for you, or maybe it's part of why you like what you like, or maybe it's part of, like, you know, you draw inspiration. And I'm going to put this one to the coaches too, okay? Dylan, do you want to go first?
Sure. Personally, for me, it would be Wicked on Broadway, the musical. So, yeah.
You want to give us a little bit of why? I've seen it. It's a wonderful play.
I saw it first when I was in 6th grade with my grandparents in New York City, and I've seen it twice since then as well, and I actually know a couple of the cast members personally, so I got to see them in it just this past October, which was really cool. But when I first saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to play Glinda. So now it's like my dream, you know? So, yeah.
It is, and it's a great musical too. Mimi, how about you?
Well, mine is a movie. It's La La Land. I saw this when it came out, and I have fond memories of watching it with my grandma. And she bawled her eyes out during it. And I was like stunned because I'd never seen my grandma cry like that. And it kind of inspired me to want to act like how the actors were that made the audience member, you know, feel so much emotion because of their acting. So, yeah.
And can you sing some of the soundtrack? I won't ask you to right now, but can you do some of the soundtrack?
Oh, I love the soundtrack. I actually listen to it when I'm doing homework. Like, I'll search up La La Land score, and it's just like puts me in the mood to get stuff done.
Yeah. No, it is. I agree with you. It's a great movie. I really love it. In the soundtrack, and the especially the one song. I'm trying to think. The City of Lights, is that?
City of Stars.
City of Stars. Yeah, I think A little bit? No, no, that's okay. Sam, how about Samantha? I'm sorry, I keep doing. How about you?
It's okay, I can go by Sam. It's actually I have like a kid show. It's called Steven Universe, and it seems really dumb, but it's a lot of seasons and it's had a few movies. It's just, it brings up a lot of light to a lot of like today's issues, and it's really welcoming, and it really brings everyone together with how diverse our community is today, and it tries to be opening to everyone, and it has beautiful songs and soundtracks with beautiful meanings behind them as well, and it just makes me so happy whenever I see it.
And I think, you hit on it. It's such a key thing, especially overgeneralizing the way things are now, a chance for people to come together and feel good about something, right? It sounds like, yeah, I need to check this out too then. Shelley, how about you?
So I'm going to go pretty old school here as the English instructor, and these guys probably know this too, but I would have to say that like the most inspiring stage story for me is always Shakespeare. So we had the opportunity last winter for the winter show to do the complete works of William Shakespeare abridged, which was kind of a humorous take on all of his works together. But for me, it would probably be tried and true Romeo and Juliet, and also Hamlet. I mean, they're just really, really great shows.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, two classic all-time, great works of literature. Yes, the unabridged, complete unabridged work, that is abridged, is incredibly fun. That is a laugh. That is great. All right, Eliza, you're up.
I know as an English teacher and someone whose background is in like theater, I should probably say a play, but I'm going to say a movie. The first one that came to my mind was Princess Bride. When I think about like what I hope audiences take away from any art I make, Princess Bride comes to mind for me, of just something that feels kind of like a warm hug, and something that, looking at it from like a stage combat point of view, like the choreography in Princess Bride is extraordinarily simple, but it is so engaging. Like the actors are just like, oh man, they're so in it. So I think for me, like all of the warm hug aspects of the Princess Bride probably for me.
And it's a fun movie, it really is. And I've got the lines running in my head right now. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate you all taking the time. I know I'm interrupting your rehearsal time, and we got to get going here and get practice going. And the play's coming up in a few days, a week or so, a week and a half.
The week after Thanksgiving. So opening night is December 2nd, which is a Thursday night. And then it'll also show on Friday night the 3rd and Saturday night the 4th, 7 p.m. each night.
Okay, good luck. All right, that's exciting. It sounds like you're working with a great play. I'm Dave Wurzel, and you've been watching Spotlight. We are at Stagg High School getting ready for the fall play. Thank you for watching.